Well, good evening and welcome to Health and Wellness Wednesday. This is the Ask Dr. Jenny show, and I'm so glad that you're going to join us this evening. Hey, we're talking about brain fog. We're talking about the causes and the treatment for those kinds of conditions, about dementia, Alzheimer's, memory loss, difficulty staying focused. That's what we're going to be talking about. And Dr. Jenny will be with us just shortly. And I just want to say again, welcome. I hope you've been having a good day today. It's been a good day. Um, I want you to do this. This is going to be a pretty powerful discussion this evening. We're going to also take questions from the viewers. So if you have questions that you would like to ask relating to dementia or memory loss, these types of things, then feel free to go ahead and put them in the comments and we'll address those questions. And so it is an interactive broadcast. And our whole goal here is to help to educate, to let you know that we can do some things to overcome the possibility of coming down with some of this stuff. And I know that for myself, I certainly have experienced it. I think all through my life, but now I'm going to say I experience sometimer's disease because sometimes I remember and sometimes I don't. But have you ever found yourself out there in a situation like you're leaving the grocery store? It's like, where did I park my car? And it's like, I can't remember where I did it. And or like for me, I was talking about this earlier this morning. Where did I leave my wallet? Or I lost my wallet. Or in the past, I've had my wife leave behind their purse and leave their purse. Has this type of stuff ever happened to you? Well, I know it's happened to me. And so it's frustrating. It creates a bunch of anger for me. But I've learned to deal with that anger. Um, I can recognize it, but then what I have to do is just take a couple deep breaths. Okay, it happened. It does. But now what am I going to do to try and solve the situation? That's what I have to do is come up with an answer next. Now, I think a lot of times, personally, for myself, I think that what it was is a situation that maybe I was tired. A lot of times I found myself when I really wasn't taking care of myself well, and I was just spending too much time, honestly, on the social media and finding myself with a couple hours of sleep and doing that day after day after day. The next thing I knew, I couldn't function well. I mean, to the point of deliriousness. And so it's no wonder I couldn't think straight. As well, in the past, some of you may know, and if you don't, I had some pretty dark moments, and I was dealing particularly with alcohol, but as well with drugs. And so I was doing that on a regular basis. And, I look back now and I say, hey, it's no wonder I had memory loss. It's no wonder that I couldn't think straight, or that I couldn't focus on the things that I was trying to get done. 9 times out of 10, I was probably dealing with a hangover. Um, so that really sucked. And thankfully, by the grace of God now, I don't do that type of stuff. And I am blessed and I'm happy that I'm not having to turn to something to have a false identity and reality about life. Yes, it was wearing a mask. And so I let go of that mask. I've been trying to take care of myself from a health and wellness standpoint and eating well, getting the rest, not overdoing it, and just simply getting myself to a point where even though today, I mean, it was like I was trying to think of somebody's name, and it's like I know their name, it's right on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't think of it. And so I'm looking forward to Dr. Jenny coming in. She is apparently running a little bit behind. I know that she's a very busy person, so I'm just anxiously waiting, just as you are, for her to show up. And as soon as she does, we'll bring her into the studio and you can ask her your questions that you might have related to these issues about brain fog or dementia, Alzheimer's, memory loss, and just simply staying focused. And I know that for myself, the things that I had to do was to get enough rest, and then eat well. A balanced diet is really important. And so, because I had met Dr. Jenny, and of course, she's now our director of on the board of the medical advisory committee, I've learned a lot. She's put me on the bioenzymes, and so I'm getting my gut health healthy. I'm things to keep my awareness sharp. And what I recognized even just a few moments ago when I was getting ready to do this broadcast, that there was a code that I had to put in to get into the studio, to get on this platform. And amazing, it's 6 numbers. I know in the past, I couldn't remember necessarily 6 numbers, but I could remember the 6 numbers, punched them right in, here we are. And so, um, I apologize that Dr. Jenny is not here with us. Something might be holding her up. If you'll just bear with me for a half a moment, I'm going to okay, she's needing the link. She has no updated link. Um, okay, so bear with me, folks. I apologize for this. Let me just send her a quick message. It's on her, public page. I know I sent the correct code to her, um, and I'll just do it again for the heck of it. Let me just do this while we're talking. And so I wanna know your questions. She is gonna be on with us in just a minute. I've copied that, so, um, hopefully that will work, and she will be with us in just a moment. So, we want to know your questions. We want to know if you have experienced this type of stuff. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right now to some comments here, and then we'll start dealing with them. And I want to start with Christina. Christina, welcome. And I really appreciate Christina. She's been coming to these broadcasts. And by the way, they're every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Um, I just want to make sure. And so we really appreciate that you do join us. And Shirley Connolly is with us. Um, I'd rather not get totally distracted here. Uh, Messenger, I gotta tell her that, for her public page. Okay. She's saying that she's not seeing it. Messenger for your link. I really apologize, folks. Thanks for bearing with me. I appreciate that. I know that there's probably gonna be a lot of people watching, and I hate when things like this happen, but they are. Um, So we're going to continue with some comments. Okay. So Christina talks about doing a lot of word games, puzzles, and tries to keep her mind active. Lots of laugh, but she forgets sometimes. I know that I forget sometimes, and I really do want to have her join us here. She's saying she doesn't have the link, but I know that I'd sent it. I've copied it here, but I'm going to have to, just for a half of a moment, if you can bear with me, open up my Gmail so that I can, in fact, make sure that I send another copy to her. Um, so I'd mentioned earlier that we want you to go ahead, put your questions down. If you know someone uh, that deals with these types of issues, um, share this message out to them. Let's learn something, and let's be able to share that, and then utilize some holistic remedies that are going to be able to prevent us from coming down with these types of conditions. And I know that a lot of it has to do with certainly the way that we take care of ourselves. And so, in one moment here, I'll try and get this straightened out. It always seems like it could be some one thing or another. And so I'm going to tell her that I'm going to send it to sending in Gmail now. All right. So this makes for an interesting broadcast, doesn't it? It's supposed to be smoother than this. Okay. So she's watching, but she's not in the. Okay, Jenny. There we are. And just go right to the link. And here we go. Paste this link. I apologize, folks. Nothing like trying to do two things at the one time. I'm multitasking again. So there it is. I've sent it off to her. Now I can come back to the broadcast. And now she should get it. She's watching me, but she has no link. Okay, I keep on talking about Gmail. So, yes, Dr. Jenny, since you're watching, and I don't have to send this to you, I just sent it to Jenny at AgeVital. Okay, on Gmail. And so you can just click on that link and that should bring you right on in because I just copied it from here. So I know that's the correct link. And then we'll start moving forward. So I got sidetracked there. And Richard Fay is with us. Thank you, Richard. He says he knows a lot about dementias. You know, Richard Fay is actually our artistic champion. I've known Richard for quite some time, as a matter of fact, probably pushing 2 years now. And he deals with autism, but he is such an out of the box kind of guy, and so he's probably got some great comments for us this evening. And he said that having parents with Parkinson's, um, and a mother with Alzheimer's, if it was Alzheimer's, he wouldn't want to live. Now that's pretty serious, Richard. I know that Alzheimer's is a tough thing. I've been involved with people that have it, and I know for me it is a struggle, but what I'm having to learn is this. Where I thought that I was not a caregiver in the past, I've had to learn that I need to be a caregiver. I mean, that's what I'm doing with the LWN Foundation is that I'm making my purpose to help other people. And so I do grow and I learn, and I have to do things that I thought I could never do in the past. And that's what I've been trying to do. Oh, she is with us now. See, awesome. So I've been having to try to do things that I've never done in the past, um, and be with people. I've got another example for you, but I'm going to save that. Let's just go ahead. Let's bring in the star of this show,
Oh my
Dr.
goodness.
Jenny.
The star of the show. It's Steven. Can you hear me?
Jenny, yes, I can hear you. Welcome.
Hello. How are you?
I am doing well, and hopefully I did okay there, just improvising for a few minutes. Now,
You are a superstar. You're fabulous.
oh, thank you. That's very kind.
Yes.
Welcome. I'm sure you've been super busy, like you always are. And I'm glad
Yes.
that you're here. And I know that there's a lot of great comments coming in. And I'm just going to remind everybody, number one, share this out, okay? If you know somebody that can benefit from tonight, because we're going to get into some good stuff here. We're going to help you come up with some remedies. We're going to learn about it more. I want to know what causes this stuff and how we can overcome it, or better coping skills to help others,
Mhm.
like I was just talking about. And so we've got some great comments. I'm going to say welcome. Why don't you just go ahead and start telling us a little bit about, you're the person that you give us these themes. This is what she does for us, everyone, is that she sets the tone for what we're talking about on a weekly basis. Today is brain fog.
Oh, who wants that? And that's the worst thing. We've all been there. We're all sufferers of brain fog because we live in toxic Babylon. Everything is designed to cause some form of psychosis, it seems, especially in the United States, right? If
Yes.
you're living and breathing, you're going to have neurological stress. That's just the fundamental facts of life. But some of
Okay.
that neurological stress can be amplified based on negative neurofeedback, constantly negative neurofeedback, right?
Right.
And then we have America's band-aids, quick band-aids for boo-boos is what I call them, that
Right.
someone presents with mental fatigue, mental fog, neuropsychiatric disorders like Alzheimer's, dementia, insomnia, MS, Parkinson's, all of these different diseases cause mental fog. These are more chronic
Mm-hmm.
versions of mental fog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bipolar disorder, schizophrenia. And then you just have the mental fog, the anxiety. I mean, that's mental fog right there. Forgetfulness. That's huge. How many of us have
Yes.
experienced walking into the kitchen and then going into the refrigerator and then looking in there and like, what am I doing in here? Oh, I had to go to the bathroom. I've done that. I had terrible
What
mental
am I
fog.
doing?
Right, what am I doing? Or you go into the bathroom and you're like, I don't need to go to the bathroom. I wanted to go get myself a drink. Right?
Right.
Or you have that mental fog where you're talking to someone and you forget their last name, or you forget who you're talking to, you forget their first name. Oh my gosh, I had a doctor. He's actually one of my medical directors. He had stage 1 of Alzheimer's. And I kept telling him, Art, you can't be drinking Diet Coke. And he was a regular allopathic doctor, but he was just getting into functional regenerative medicine. And he kept drinking. I've known this guy for 15 years, so I know how sharp he is, but he's drinking this aspartame. University of Florida did a study about aspartame, the synthetic sugar that causes memory loss. And they gave all of these gators, right, the students, aspartame right before a test, even after studying for weeks and knowing all of the material. So they did a study with them with aspartame and without aspartame. Without aspartame, they all got, basically perfect scores. And with the aspartame, they couldn't even remember anything that they said. I mean, this is huge. You have something that converts into formaldehyde in the brain. There's one simple thing right there that people can remove out of their diet is that terrible, terrible aspartame, which is a synthetic ingredient in diet pop.
I never liked this stuff. It makes the sodas taste weird. But didn't they prove that was like cancerous or not?
Well, it is. It's
Yeah.
toxic to the brain. It
Toxic.
converts into formaldehyde. Do you know what formaldehyde is, Stephen?
So, well, sure. That's what they use to put in your body to preserve it.
Yeah, right. They use this to embalm dead people.
Embalming. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
So we're preserving your brain, right? You're making your brain last forever, but it's not working.
I had no idea.
Yes,
I had no. Thank
terrible.
God I don't drink diet sodas, right?
Yes. Oh, it's terrible. Diet sodas, like convert all your diet pop, even your regular soda in the can, in the plastic bottle, convert it to the glass bottle sodas. There's a soda that people can drink that doesn't have the toxic sugars in there. It's not, your body recognizes normal sugars. There's 3 sugars in our body.
Okay.
Fructose, sucrose, and glucose. 3 sugars. And what does companies like Monsanto pop out? Aspartame, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, maltodextrose, saccharin, all of these, synthetic versions of something that already naturally occurs in your body. Your body knows how to metabolize natural sugars. It's when people abuse the natural sugars that's going to start causing, side effects, but so does, over drinking water. You can
we need sugar.
Make your minerals go out of alignment.
I mean,
you do need sugar.
Yes, we need sugar so that they can convert
for energy,
right?
For fuel. Sugar equals energy equals fuel.
Right. Now, one of the things that I wanted to kind of talk about, because I think that we may know of or even have parents or relatives that might have gone through some dementia, but the Alzheimer's. What is causing this Alzheimer's, and why are so many people coming down with this? And it's just the hardest thing to watch because you know know them, you know that they knew you, but then they turn in to their son or daughter, and who are you? Why are you here? Why is this happening, Dr. Jenny?
Well, there we go. We're going back to the sugars, the synthetic sugars with dementia, right?
Okay.
So like you said, we do need sugars, but then when you're over abusing the synthetic sugars and everything, all of our food, Stephen, I mean, it is just, if there's a pandemic out there, it is land of the, obese, diabetic, and demented. Welcome to America. We're 88% of the population's obese.
Well, and I was talking about things like, it's really important to get enough sleep, because I know that in the past, when I had just allowed myself to be consumed by the social media, and I'm getting 2 hours of sleep, and I'm doing this day in, day out, and then, of course, I was still getting up, 2 hours of sleep. We're talking going to bed around midnight and then waking up at 3 like I do. and then running till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and I got to the point where I was literally delirious.
Yeah.
And saying, no wonder I
But
can't sleep, or I mean, I can't focus. I mean,
well, the sugar high, right? There's a lot to say with a sugar high when you're saying don't feed your children all that sugar. It makes them wired and then they crash, right? But what that means, I mean, they're literally getting high off of this chemical, right? So sugar creates a dangerous cycle of insulin resistance. So poor insulin controls, it appears, risk for Alzheimer's. All the studies with Alzheimer's disease that's out there, the peer-reviewed studies show that it's really mostly linked to all the synthetic sugars that I'm talking about, the multidextrose, the dextrose, the sucralose, the aspartame, the high fructose corn syrups. I mean, I just listed 5 off right there. So what that means is when you're at a restaurant, you see the pink packet, the blue packet, the yellow packet, and then the white packet, because that's processed sugar as well. It's bleached, right? So I tell people switch to the brown sugar or switch to honey. Honey is so much better. It tastes like sugar. It's naturally sweet. It doesn't interrupt your insulin, right? It doesn't affect your glucose. So I mentioned 5 synthetic sugars. Yvonne laughs at me, my marketing director. She always says, I need to tape you. We're at restaurants all the time and someone's with me. I'm like, don't open that packet. That's disgusting. I'm like, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer, But going back to the science of it, right? When you eat food, carbohydrates, starches, and sugar in your food are broken down into other types of sugar called glucose. So there's a natural sugar. That's when you're eating natural whole foods, right? Foods that are non-GMO. As your body digests the foods, the stomach and your small intestine absorb the sugar and send it into your bloodstream, right? This is how you measure insulin or measure the amount of glucose. The hormone insulin pulls sugar from the bloodstream and gives it to the cells inside the organs and to the muscles. This gives your cells energy. So you're talking about the importance of sugar, but it's the types of sugars that you eat.
Now
right?
that brings up a really good point because my father's diabetic, and I've known other people that are diabetic, and I remember, and let's clarify this because I just remember a gentleman. I just think way back here. And he was diabetic, and I don't think my dad was at the time. But it's like he felt like he was going to be faint, and he was going to pass out. And he says, I need to get some sugar right now. And so he's like, went and grabbed a candy bar and ate a candy bar. Is that the thing to do?
No, it's not the thing to do, right? Because now that candy bar has the wrong type of sugar in there, and it's overly concentrated. What he should have done was get a tablespoon of honey, right? Or eat like a certain type of cracker, like the baked crackers, right? Those natural carbohydrates, or half a sweet potato, or eating a fruit like a orange, or a tangerine or an apple. You're getting the natural sugars, non-GMO apple, seed, produce with seeds in it. And what happens with the diabetics, they don't have enough. Now their receptor sites are not working right. So the glucose is not signaling, correctly. So then they become hypoglycemic first, and then they turn into diabetics. And then you can renormalize those receptors by taking a product called L-glycine. L-glycine regulates glucose in the body naturally, so it starts to cooperate the way it did, prior. So you see there's a balance there. L-glycine is the substance, and it tastes like sugar. Yep, L-glycine is the smallest of amino acids, but it's one of the most powerful, and it tastes like sugar. I have people at my store buy like jugs of it because it looks like sugar. It's powdery white. Amino acids typically are very white or a yellow color when isolated, meaning when it's in its isolate form. And then once you add that right before you go to bed, because it does make you super calm. It's a great relaxer. It almost has the same effect as taking like an anti-anxiety med or like a Xanax or Valium. It's so calming to your adrenals, but it calms your glucose. It regulates your glucose. It's very powerful.
That's very, very informative. I want to
Hmm.
remind everybody, make sure that you share this video out. There's a lot of people that might be suffering from this, and we've also been just talking about straight old, oh, I forgot where I parked thing, and why did I go, what was I after again type of stuff. We're talking about all of that, and so we want you to share it to your friends and to your groups. And I'll remind you that Dr. Jenny is with us every Wednesday, 7 p.m. And it is the Ask Dr. Jenny show on Health and Wellness Wednesday. And so we're talking about things to try and help you get as healthy as you can, mind, body, and spirit. This week we're talking about brain fog. We're talking about memory loss. We're talking about staying focused. So, Dr. Jenny, what are some of the things that we should be doing so that we can have the highest level of focus? There's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, a lot of these.
What messes
Um,
with your sugar? What messes with your
are we
insulin,
back to
right?
sugars again? So,
Yeah,
sugars
well,
are seeming to
sugar
be.
is definitely the huge component for mental fog and messing with your pancreas, messing with your insulin, messing even with your leptin levels,
Hmm.
right? So what causes satiation? But yeah, sugar drowns the brain, and the brain needs insulin, right, for
Hmm.
energy. So the
Hmm.
levels cause, the brain needs more of the insulin, not the sugar. If the sugar's already in the brain, the bloodstream. So what people need to do is, okay, understand biochemistry and knowing when to eat the sugars and when to eat, because it's years of, synthetic sugar abuse, right? That
Hmm.
keeps messing with
Okay.
that insulin and blood sugar. And
All
then
right.
years of simple carbohydrate, bad carbs. So there's good carbs and there are bad carbs. So you want the complex carbs, not the
Hmm.
simple carbs, right?
Hmm.
So you
Okay.
can indulge as well, but if you're going to be an overindulger, which America is filled with overindulgers, right?
I'm guilty. I've been there. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe,
like
maybe
today I
still a
had
little
I had
bit. I got to admit, one of the things I was thinking about today is not to eat the kind of some of this junk food that I eat, these snacks.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's like a healthy diet's really important to this whole thing, isn't it?
Yep, low glycemic diets, right? And a flexible diet. Like
Hmm.
I said in one of our podcasts, I'm a flexitarian. So I eat low glycemic
Hmm.
90% of the week. And then I have my Friday night cheats and my Saturday where I cheat all day long. So you're
Hmm.
allowing yourself to live, right? Not just exist, because you don't want it once you completely restrict it, and then knowing what supplements to take during those cheats. Like on Friday nights, I take my L-glycine, and on Saturday nights, I take my L-glycine to make sure that I'm not messing with my insulin, my glucose control, right?
Hmm.
Because I had fried chicken, or I had pizza, or I had, you name it,
All that good stuff,
waffles,
right?
all the good stuff with my children. They look forward to our cheat day and our cheat evening, and we do. We
Hmm.
have burgers, we have fries, and it just allows us to indulge. But we know how to live functionally and take our supplements at the end of the day, right? That
That's an
way,
important,
yep,
right?
we're getting rid of that oxidative stress to the brain.
Hmm.
So, and there's other factors, stress causes fatigue on your brain. So chronic stress can increase blood pressure, it weakens the immune system, it triggers depression, it causes you, to get what's called the stress belly or the Buddha belly, right? You get that pot belly.
Hmm.
You guys know who you are. I know
Hmm.
I know which clients are stressed with, especially my men, because they got this big gigantic belly, and it's hard, and it's all
Hmm.
cortisol, because stress causes an abundance of cortisol,
Oh,
and it's not soft, it's not fat, it's
right.
that's why they call it the stress belly. It's not fat. But
Ah,
once we reduce the amount of stress and then balance out the adrenal glands, the cortisol, that belly starts to deflate. But these men, some of them look 8 months pregnant, but they're
right.
never going to give birth. I mean, they literally look pregnant. But stress
And
causes
it's
that
not,
mental fatigue, right?
so it's
Your
not the beer
brain,
belly
it's not the beer.
thing.
Well, beer causes stress
Oh,
on your
beer.
adrenals. Yes, it
Oh,
causes stress on your adrenals. So,
okay.
I mean, it's loaded with the yeast, right?
Hmm.
And it's loaded with all the, the empty calories, the sugar. I mean, you might as well just be pounding a bunch of sugar.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
yeah, when you're stressed, your brain is exhausted and it becomes harder to think, to reason, to focus. So if you're a beer drinker, make sure you're taking your probiotics before you go to bed and take L-glycine, every day that you're having a beer, even if it's just one, because one beer can start this vicious cycle. So
Mhm.
take L-glycine, take 3 grams of L-glycine. I have my functional
Mhm.
drinkers as my clients. And what I
Mhm.
mean by what I mean by functional
Mhm.
drinkers.
Mhm.
They're
Mhm. I
preventative.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
They take their L-glycine, they take their probiotics before they go to bed, and then they
There you
never
go.
have any side effects.
That's excellent. See,
hmm
yes.
So
I want to
stress.
I want to go to some of these questions. I know that Richard Fay, and we really appreciate these comments, and I'm so glad that you're here with us. And by the way, he's watching all the way from the UK. And so which one do you want to pick? One of his questions? I mean, I'm looking at a couple of them here, Dr. Jenny.
Okay, let me see. I'm looking at them right there.
Yeah, which one? Why don't you go ahead and do it?
I have a Richard Fay. Yep, I have.
Hmm.
Where did I see one? I have Nikki Ashanti. Does sugar cause high blood pressure?
Okay, is that what you want to start with?
Yeah, we can start with that and then work
Okay,
backwards.
all right, that
Yeah,
sounds fine to me. Let's start with Nikki, and she's asking about does sugar cause the high blood pressure?
absolutely. So, sugar could be the biggest cause of high blood pressure, actually. So, but natural sugars from fruits and vegetables is fine because, again, it's not overly concentrated, right? When we're pre prepackaged foods, everything is overly concentrated. It's in unnatural amounts that they put it in there as even as a preservative, right? That's what the synthetic ones are for. So watch out for the synthetic sugars that's going to elevate your blood pressure. So there's different types of drinks, the pop drinks, the deli meats, the frozen pizzas that have all the synthetic sugars in there. Even pickles, like the packaged pickles,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they use sugar. They put a bunch of the synthetic sugar in that to
Mm.
make them last longer. So you see,
Oh,
they're using the synthetic sugar as a preservative.
I didn't know
Canned
that.
soups, canned soups, yeah, have almost 900 milligrams of sodium plus
Oh,
all of the extra added sugars. You should look at the
okay.
label. You'll see
So
the synthetic sugars in there.
so there's a lot of talk about organic, and so, but I know that there's controversy there too. Just because it says organic doesn't mean necessarily that it's the right thing, does it?
Yeah,
Can you
organic
maybe?
doesn't mean it's organic to your body.
Yeah, okay.
Organic
And
is a very loosely used term. Organic means from the earth. Poison ivy is from the earth, but we don't consume it, right? That's organic.
right,
So
right.
it's
So,
got to be organic to our body. So pick products that have the natural sugars that I discussed in there, the
mhm,
fructose, the sucrose, or the glucose, right? Those are the three
okay,
sugars in our body, in our chemical pathway. If you looked at a biochemistry chart, those are the three sugars that are in
okay,
our body.
excellent.
So pick brown sugar or honey or pick natural fruits. If you have a sweet craving, I usually tell people eat a banana because
Hmm.
that banana, boom, completely modulates that sweetness craving that you have, that overwhelming sweetness. It really, it subsides it and it's healthy for you if you eat a banana or
Excellent.
take a tablespoon of honey.
The honey. I know that
Yep.
there's a question on honey. I'm just gonna pop this one up. I know that this is one of his first ones, and
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
sure.
going
And
backwards to Richard Fay. We're going all the
yeah,
way back.
let's go all the way back, and
He
we're
has
talking
two
about
parents.
water.
Yeah. Oh,
Well, how
Dr.
far do
Jan,
you
how
want to
much
go back?
water?
Yeah. Oh yeah, you see all this stuff. He's go to wherever you want to go to. Um, whichever question you would like to address, do that, Dr. Jenny, and then I'll find it and I'll pop it up, and we'll give that person the credit because this is about asking questions. Certainly, if you have a question about this, you want to know something more, it's something that we haven't discussed already, please bring that up. We'll do our best to get this on the program.
Yeah. Now we are, I do think in general, most people are dehydrated and our body makes up of 60% water, right? Give
Mhm.
or take,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
can go up to 65.
Mhm.
But not all water is created equal as well. So meaning that not all water is properly alkaline. It says reverse osmosis. It says, free and clear. But what that means is they stripped it away from the minerals in the electrolytes. So when you're drinking water, what's the purpose of drinking water? So I'm going to walk people through it, because I think once they see it for what the purpose is, it makes people understand and be aware of it. Like, I always put lemon juice in my water and a little bit of salt, in public restaurants, or even the bottled water. I have my lemon squeeze in my refrigerator, Stephen, and my children all do it. I put a little bit of the lemon squeeze, and that naturally alkalines it. I also sell the mineral drops. They're like $6. And I just put, for every ounce, I put 1 drop. So if it's an 8-ounce a bottle of water, I put 1 drop of my electrolytes. And what that does is it alkalines it to above a 7.8. You want your water to be at a pH of 7.8, because if it's not nourishing yourself. It's not hydrating you. And the whole purpose of drinking water is to hydrate you. When someone tells me, I drank 2 liters of water today, that's half a gallon,
Right.
I'm thinking, that's a lot of water. I was like, why are you drinking that much water? I said, you shouldn't be drinking that much water. He's like, yeah, and I'm still thirsty. They still have the drive, and then they're getting their minerals even more out of whack, because they're overly hydrating themselves, right?
Okay.
So when you're thirsty, your body is craving minerals and electrolytes.
Okay. I saw that. What product is that you got? Is that I'm trying to remember the name of that product that you got, the mineral drops.
Mineral trace, yeah.
Mineral. Mineral trace. So I want everybody to know we've got these products. I've got some of my products in my store, and of course, Dr. Jenny's got such an exceptional selection of products. I'm going to put up her banner right now so that you can see that it is AgeVital, and we're looking forward to helping you. And we got products we do that will help you with all of these issues, and that's the important factor here. So let me just get this up.
And minerals. I've had people where I've given them mineral drops. Even I just put it underneath their tongue, and it tastes like seawater. Right? It really does. They look around like all of a sudden a light bulb went off in their head. It got rid of their mental fog immediately. So a lot of people are walking around with mental fog because they're dehydrated. And then add some mineral to your daily. I carry my small little mineral drops in my purse everywhere I go. I'm that dorky chemist at everybody's table, where when everybody gets water, I'm like, here, have some mineral. I'm even putting it in their alcohol,
Water. Now, and I wanted to ask you about that. That's what I got.
I got Zephyr Hills, but I alkaline all of my bottles of water.
Okay, so that's what I'm going to have to do, is get the minerals for it. And I saw that, and I knew that it was triggering me to probably make a choice there, but I didn't yet. But I got to get down anyways. I've got to get the probiotics again, and a couple other things as well. Now this water just came out of the fridge now, through a filter in the fridge. Now, am I supposed to test this water or something to make sure that it's good? Because
now it's filtered.
It's filtered.
But is it alkaline? That's why you have to add the minerals. Because again, saying filtered means it's stripping away.
Yeah.
You want it to be filtered, but you want to reestablish the electrolytes in the minerals.
Right.
And when you have those minerals, you're preventing muscle cramps. You ever get that spasm in your eye? One eye will spasm, or up here, this spasm. Lately. That just means you're dehydrated.
Okay.
Right.
And now that
or when your feet cramp up, those are electrolytes. You ever have that debilitating pain at the bottom of your feet? And you're like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yep. And you're certainly going for water. That's what your body's craving.
And certainly when you get dehydrated, particularly being out in the heat, I mean, that can lead to a heat stroke. You can certainly not feel balanced by not hydrating properly. So this is an important thing. Everybody that's listening, we're learning that you need to put minerals into these waters, particularly just like this one here that came out of a fridge. Sure, it's filtered. It's got charcoal filter, takes out chlorine, which is probably a good thing.
Mhm.
But then we need to put the
Yeah, you don't want
minerals
the
back.
chloride, you don't want the fluoride, you don't want the
The
synthetic
fluorides.
calcium. Yep,
Yeah,
you don't want the synthetic calcium, and that's bad for you, because when
right.
the tap water, that's really they're putting synthetic chemicals in there to get rid of any bacteria or, anything, bad. So, but get some lemon squeeze, organic,
Okay.
non-GMO lemon squeeze. It's already the lemon juice put in a little
Yes.
bottle, or get lemons. I do both, and I'll
Yes.
cut up a lemon and then I'll put it in there, and I'll even add a little bit of salt, just so I have, you know, just a tiny bit. You're
And
talking
I
a
love
dash.
I love lemon in my water personally. I think it's pretty good.
And you notice that you're drinking less because your cells are being nourished. Because that's
Okay.
really, I
Absolutely.
probably drink about, I don't know, about 20 ounces of water, 25
Okay.
ounces of water a day.
A day. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
And that
Excellent.
that
Excellent
should be,
point.
you shouldn't be drinking 2 liters.
Yep.
See
Richard
people
tells
with
us
their,
put the lemons in the water.
that's right, Richard Fay. And I saw Richard has 2 parents with dementia.
Yeah.
My
Let me
family.
let me find
I
that.
had a grandmother that died of Alzheimer's, so this hits very close to home to me too. And I was a private duty home care nurse for many years, so I had a lot of Alzheimer's dementia
S- So so it's
patients, and that's
genetic.
so
It
sad.
can be passed down through the genes, you're saying.
No,
No,
it's definitely not genetic.
it's not
Alzheimer's,
genetic. It's we talked about it, sugars and stuff.
it's diet related,
So it's
right?
diet related, right? So
Yes.
this is something that we can prevent. That's the point.
Yep. This is all preventative. Cancers are preventative. Dementia is preventative. Going back to my medical director,
Yeah.
Art, right,
Hmm.
with his aspartame.
Hmm.
His wife calls me. This was in 2012. His
Hmm.
wife calls me. She's also a doctor. She's like, Dr. Jenny, I don't know what to do with Art. He's in my kitchen. He just told me he doesn't recognize me. He doesn't know who I am. He's staring at her like, wait a minute, are you my wife? And
Oh
she thought he
wow.
was joking. She thought he
Right.
was joking. Someone so sharp. I mean, he's an internal medicine doctor, right? I mean, he's
Yeah.
got 12 years of, 13 years of medical school. And she's like, Art, what are you talking about? Stop playing around. She goes, no, he's like, hold on, hold on. I know you have to be my wife, but I can't remember your name. Can you imagine being on the receiving side of that? What a terrible thing to
It's
lose your mind,
I I
right?
I I haven't personally had to experience that from someone that I know and love um, yet, and I hope I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
because that would be very painful. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure how I would react, to be honest.
It's scary. When my grandma was, going through the stages of Alzheimer's, all the way to, I mean, they put their diapers on their head. I mean, they do the
Hmm.
craziest things. It's like
Hmm.
a 1-year-old, an 8-month
Hmm.
old, only in a human body,
Hmm. Can
right?
they can they can they can you overcome that then once you're fully blown into the Alzheimer's then?
Absolutely. You can
Okay.
do so much prevention. The big pharma gives, products like Ativan, other drugs that weaken the brain some more, and that's not what they need. What
Okay.
the Alzheimer's patients need is brain fuel, right?
Okay.
They need to strengthen. It's a muscle, just like you would exercise,
Mhm.
right? Check out those
Mhm.
guns,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
You lifted some weights today, were you?
Yeah, my 5-year-old,
Every day, right?
my 40-pound-year-old baby. That's that's how I get my exercise. I do push-ups with my 10-year-old on my back, and then I burn it down to my 8-year-old on my back, and then my
Mhm.
5-year-old on my back, and then just me by myself. Oh yeah, I get
Oh
I
my
get a good
goodness.
burn just with my girls. But you have to treat your brain like you would any other muscle in your body. You have to exercise it. Okay? What do you feed your muscle? Right? Muscles require fuel,
Mhm.
amino acids. All right? This is a gigantic muscle. So, amino acids, fuel, you're talking peptides that nourish the brain so your brain can work and you can produce all those wonderful neurotransmitters, right? And then you need hydration. So, you need those electrolytes. And L-glycine, that was an amino acid that regulates glucose
Mhm.
because it helps support good brain. You need immune boosters, right? For neurological support, for the hormones at the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, right? You want to support those glands neurologically. So vitamin D3 is huge,
Right.
right? Vitamin D3 is enormous for mental clarity, for immune system. So there's many studies on vitamin D3 with Alzheimer's and dementia. Glutathione detoxes all the negative toxins neurologically. So taking glutathione injections right before you go to bed, and it's super simple to do. I'll usually do it in my arm. Now I do it to keep my skin clear. I don't wear
Okay.
foundation. I don't wear any makeup. I don't have any makeup on right now,
Right.
right? And I take it as as an anti-aging,
Yeah.
right? So anti-aging, not just my face, my brain. We
Yeah.
have one mind. This is like our engine for our car. If we don't take care of that engine, it's gonna, not work for us.
That's right.
Our mechanics is, right? Are you
And
laughing?
I've been using that analogy lately,
Yes.
because it just makes so much sense, and that we take care of ourselves just like we would our car, because if we do not take care of ourselves, then it's not going to take care of us. And so to have good health, we have to do some maintenance. Now, would be the best thing to determine what to do next with the things that we're deficient in is you've got testing kits, right? And so we can do testing kits, determine exactly what's going on with an individual, and then you're able to then give them specifically things that will help them with their specific needs. Is that correct?
Yeah, I do Nutra evaluations, it's what it's called, where we're able to assess the amount of vitamins, minerals, enzymes, probiotics, essential fatty acids, and isolate how much a person, an individual needs. So it's checking individual mechanics again and seeing how much fish oil they should have, how much folate, how much B6, B12. These are all supplements for the brain. Vitamin D. Fish oil is enormous for brain health because those are fats. Again, you need good fats for energy and fuel, right? Not the bad fats. You need the good fats. So avocado, whole milk, cream cheese, nuts, not peanuts. Peanuts are toxic for human beings. Birds can digest peanuts. Human beings cannot. We lack the enzymes to digest peanuts, and it's loaded with fungus and mold,
Mm,
right? So a lot of
mhm.
people don't know that. So I always tell
Right.
them replace your peanut butter with almond butter. So
Almond
get rid
butter.
of the
Yeah.
peanut butter
Mhm.
because it causes inflammation, neurological inflammation, and replace it with almond butter or sunflower seed butter or cashew butter. I personally love the almond butter. It's so good. Almond butter and
Mhm.
honey sandwiches. My children love it.
Oh boy.
It's so amazing. It's so good. On our
So
toast,
Nutella,
almond butter.
where's Nutella fit in?
Oh my
Um,
goodness.
it
I think my children are addicted to Nutella. So I
it's pretty good stuff.
I can't
Yeah,
believe, yeah, it's hazelnut. It's cacao and
it's the
hazelnut. So we do
okay,
get
the
the spread.
hazelnut.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hazelnut. Yep. And then it has regular sugar in there. So I do have to hide it from my children because it's so good. It is so easy to get a big thing of Nutella and then it's gone within 2 hours between all of us strutting around watching a movie and we're just
Right.
eating Nutella. But yeah, hazelnut butter or Nutella is
Okay.
a good, yep. But don't overdo it. And if you're going to overdo it, if you find yourself that you binged and you're like, oh my gosh, I just ate a whole entire tub of ice cream.
Yeah.
You're loading up on that L-glycine. You're taking
Yeah.
that
That's
L-glycine.
what I do.
You're taking
Yeah.
a
Okay.
double dose of
Uh-huh.
vitamin B6 and B12 and folate to re-nourish your cells and reestablish that glucose so you don't become and induce diabetes because it will. It's a domino effect. It's all those dominoes start to
Well,
fall.
and I've got to pay attention to this because my dad's had it for many, many years, and he's taking. But we're going to get him healthy too, though.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yep.
and that's what I'm going to do is that I've now taken it on that it's really important for me to learn as much as I can about taking care of myself. And so not only do I want to take care of myself, I want to take care of the people that I love and that are around me too.
Hmm.
So you can
And you're
expect
taking care of yourself for the people around you, because you're no
Exactly.
good to
Right.
anybody dead.
That's
You're no
right.
good to your family if you're in a nursing home,
That's correct.
right?
Exactly.
I want to
Exactly.
be vibrant and fit.
Yeah.
In my 90s, there's not any reason to
Mm-mm.
be vibrant and fit. And you only have one brain, right? And then teaching everybody, I constantly teach my children, constantly, don't do this, don't do that, blah, blah. Eventually it starts to stick because I'm talking about it all the time. My 10-year-old, when she was in kindergarten, told her teacher, go to a Christian school here in
Mhm.
Sarasota.
Mhm.
The teacher had these juice boxes, and my 6-year-old at the time in kindergarten looked at it and she's like, Mrs. Nielsen, this has high fructose corn syrup in it.
Mhm.
And she's like, what are you talking about? She goes, this is going to make us hyper, and it might give us diabetes and attention disorders. Do you really want us all to have attention disorders? The
Okay.
teacher calls me and said, your daughter made me go to the grocery store. I had, the teacher's assistant. She went to the grocery store and bought the non-GMO juice boxes with the real sugar. So here was a kindergarten girl, my daughter,
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
made a difference in her class because I said it so much to her. You know,
See, that's
she's like, I don't.
important.
She's like, I don't want diabetes.
Right.
It's never too soon to teach. It's never too early to teach your children these good habits. This
Okay.
is something that they're going to pass down.
Yes.
This should be a culture of health, especially
Yes.
with this pandemic. The last thing you want is to have sugar issues and then you get COVID, and then COVID makes your sugar issues worse and then you die. It wasn't because of the COVID. It's because you had, your body was already on the tipping pool.
Mhm. 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 So that's what we're trying to share. We're trying to share the
Mhm.
fact that it is time to take care of ourselves, everybody. It's time to
Yep.
take action and do something about that. And Dr. Jenny has got the premier product in my mind. And whatever you need to be able to meet your nutritional needs and balance your body so that we can be as healthy as we can be. I'm excited about this, to be really honest with you. I'm excited for my family. I'm excited for myself.
Mhm.
And so it's
I'm
about,
super excited.
yes, it's about
I
taking
love I,
action.
I
Go
love all
ahead.
the comments. Fruit and vegetable smoothies. That's right, Richard Fay. Absolutely. With some, plain yogurt in there, so you're getting that good bacteria. Christina Sculin.
Scullin, I think.
Scullin. Yep.
I think.
Okay. I never like diet soda is good because it's
Yeah.
bad. Run. Get the Jaritos. I love the Mexican sodas, the Central American ones in the glass bottles. If you're craving a soda, and I have them in my refrigerator. I carry the Jarrito brand. That's what it's called. If you went into a Mexican restaurant and asked
Mhm.
them for a Mexican soda, it comes in a
Mhm.
glass bottle. It's the
Mhm.
real cane sugar. So there's
Oh,
three ingredients in it. A
okay.
normal soda has about 30 different ingredients on
Uh,
the label.
okay. Yeah, I've seen those. I should try one now.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Richard Fay says make aspartame illegal. It really should be illegal. I can't even believe. I mean, it is in so many of our products. It really should. We as a community should
Okay.
come together, and talk to, our political people,
Yeah.
food, right? The
Well,
agricultural.
exactly. It is about getting re-educated, or not so much re-educated, but getting the education, but then doing something about that and trying to help our
Hmm.
communities, because that's what this is all about. It's all about community, because we love you, the people that are watching this. We love ourselves enough to know that we need to start taking care of ourselves. So yeah, it spread that love, right? Spread the love
Yep.
and spread
Spread the
good health.
love.
So that, I'm, like I said, very excited. There are several. Oh, Christina's doesn't want to drink Slurpees anymore.
I
Oh no,
just saw
she's
that one too. Yes, if you can avoid it, please
oh
stop
no,
drinking
no.
it. Yeah. Unless
Ah,
you're making a non-GMO Slurpee with real fruits, right? Because really, it's frozen juices,
right.
right? So you can make a natural one. Like
Yeah.
with my children, I make the natural pops, the popsicles.
Mm.
We make them out of, real ingredients without all of the empty sugar, the synthetic sugars. But if you're a Slurpee drinker, you have to get
Christina.
on supplements.
Therapies. Now, I want to bring this up too. Is that Richard says he wants to be on the speed Zoom call. Now, the point of the matter with respect to this is this, Richard. There's a phone number that you can call, and you have a telemedicine line. Is that correct, Dr. Jenny? So the people that can have concerns can call you and speak to a doctor and get answers to their health questions, and or deal with whatever it has to do with health and wellness wise. Correct?
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
And it will
yeah.
schedule consultation via Zoom. So then you'll be able to have an actual consultation with me. We'll go thoroughly through your medical history, your diet, your spirituality, fitness, and analysis of mitochondrial function, neurological, cellular, everything from top to bottom to get your mechanics functioning optimally. I saw
Hmm.
a really good one.
Okay.
Christina said that
Hmm.
she can't eat bananas because it upsets her stomach. That's very good.
Hmm.
So if you're craving something sweet, I would go on a mineral complex every day, capsules. So Christina, go ahead and take. I have a product called Mineral Complex. You could take that every night before you go to bed,
Hmm.
and that will help reduce the amount of sugars that you crave. Even taking a weekly vitamin B12 shot, high dose vitamin B12 shot, or B complex, all of those Bs work fantastic together. We sell the vials where you can give yourself the injections every single week. Helps boost your immune system, helps give you healthy weight. Your hair grows in nice and thick, and you'll see new growth, but your memory and your energy will improve.
And I just wanted to say this because I know that taking care of ourselves. What I'm going to say is this: to me, because I don't have health insurance, I couldn't afford it. It got to a point where it was outrageous amount of money. Um, and so my point is this: is that I recognize that I want to live. Number one, okay. So I decided I'm living. So because I'm going to live, I want to be healthy, and that this is an investment in myself.
Mm-hmm.
And even though it might not be cheap, although there's some products that are very reasonably priced, I'm telling you that this is a great investment in yourself. And so, what price are you worth? We're priceless, correct? So,
You
taking
can't put a
care,
price on your health
yeah,
because, Stephen, if they don't pay for it now, you pay for it
yeah,
later.
yeah,
And that
exactly.
later is way more pricier. Cancer, it's super expensive,
Yes.
right?
It-
So is
it-
diabetes, so is Alzheimer's,
and and
so is
and I don't
dementia.
want And I don't want to see that happen. I mean, I just had a very close friend that is no longer with us as of Monday, and I'm glad that I was there. And this made me think about this topic as well too. But she was dying of brain cancer, and it was very difficult to see this. And she definitely had moments where she wasn't there. Um, and I really think it was one of the worst ways I think a person could suffer and die. And so I think it's important that we take care of ourselves so that we can avoid situations like that. And I think maybe you can just speak about. I just got to believe that as well as getting our bodies balanced, isn't it got something to do too with our thinking as well, Dr. Jenny?
Okay, repeat that. I was
Doesn't health, that's okay. Doesn't good health have something to do with our thinking as well?
absolutely. If you don't have good health, it affects your mind and your mind, the pineal gland. You get calcification around the pineal gland. Pineal gland is a lot of religions call it the third eye. It's an actual gland that, if when calcified, you're not even able to make sense of your surroundings.
Mhm,
So, in essence, is that part of Alzheimer's and dementia? If you can't even tap into the spiritual realm to be able to
mhm,
process life, that's your consciousness, right?
mhm,
If you don't
mhm.
know you're conscious anymore, you're brain dead,
There's
right?
just no way to
You're still
live. There's
you're
no
you're,
qual
you're still you,
yeah,
but
there's
there's
I
my little one.
I
Did you see the
that's
baby?
cute, yes. Um, And that did throw me. What was I thinking? No.
Like, who's that little 5-year-old?
That's what it was.
Yes.
Um, I don't know what I was thinking exactly. See, there we go. Because I got distracted, and that's maybe we're down on time, but I want to know that for me. All right, so
Yep.
I'm concentrating, I'm doing something, I'm thinking a certain way, and then something else happens, and I get distracted, and then my God, I cannot remember what I was thinking about, and it takes a few minutes to get back there. Why is that happening? Is that just
Sorry.
no?
My li-
Is it?
my li-
Is
my
it?
little one is asking me for some sugar.
Oh, but you've got the good sugar. How about some honey?
Yes. Well, I got the non-GMO chocolate chip. This is what she brought me. Look at this.
Okay.
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Sweet. Oof.
Mhm. Look at her.
Awesome.
There she is. There's my cutie. After we eat dinner, okay?
So yes,
Oh.
I mean, I guess I was saying, that I had lost a friend here recently. I didn't know her very well, but I have a friend that was taking care of her, and it was a tough thing to see, and
Yeah,
it just
I'm
woke
so
me up.
sorry.
It was a tough thing to go through,
Mhm.
and I felt for her, and all I'm thinking is this: it's time to take care of ourselves from a health and wellness standpoint. I'm pleased that we have Health and Wellness Wednesday. I'm beyond ecstatic that Dr. Jenny is with us, and that every Wednesday at 7 we're talking about our health and wellness, and that she has all these wonderful products. I mean, her experience reads like a book. I mean, she's got so much experience in so many different areas, and we couldn't ask for better to have guiding us with respect to our health and wellness, and we certainly appreciate that very much, Dr.
Mm.
Jenny.
No, you're
What?
welcome. And I'm a mommy.
And she's a mom. She's a real person.
Yeah.
You can talk to her. I love it.
Yep. And I'm a
So
product of what I preach. I really
yes,
am.
yes, and I know that you are, and I know that you are,
I'm able
and
to live and enjoy all those delicious foods that everyone wants to eat, but I live functionally. I take my supplements to support. Yep, here they are. They just saw mommy on
that's
TV, so
so
they
sweet.
all
Yes,
wanted.
they should say hello. Say
Say
hello to
hi, guys.
everybody.
All right, let's do some
Yeah.
introductions here. Who do we
Yes,
have
let's
here?
let's do that.
Let's see. This
So
is my
awesome.
this is my 5-year-old.
Well, hello.
Mhm. And this is my 8-year-old. Mhm.
Welcome.
Mhm.
I'm
Look
so
at
glad
this.
to see you tonight. So cool. This is great. So your mom does a great show here. We were talking with people tonight. We're trying to help them get really healthy. And boy, I tell you, we love you, Dr. Jenny. We sure do. And we appreciate all this great advice that you've given us. Why don't you go ahead? You can close us out, take us out, give us some last bit of wisdom. Cheetos? Is that what I saw?
Okay, you're getting your vitamin injection tonight. No. Yep,
That's
and you're so
Fridays or
skinny.
Saturdays, remember?
That's it. You gotta wait. You gotta wait for Friday night. Where did you find that? But see, that's what I said. We live. We have our indulgences. I allow
Yeah,
I allow certain, yeah, different products for the kids, but they're all
yeah. Well,
healthy
as long
weight.
as long as you do the things like you said, you can take the proper. I'm looking for the right answer here. What's the right term? So you take the proper nutrients. Is that the correct term?
Yep. So
Yeah.
you have to support your mechanics,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
A nice way for me to describe it is if you're taking your car out mudding, what do you do at
Yeah.
the end of the day?
You wash it off.
You wash it off.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm teaching the consumer. That's what I'm teaching my doctors. Okay, let's teach people to live functionally. Let's teach them to constantly be on a daily cleanse by the end of the day, taking their supplements. And then it's like guilt-less cheating, right?
Yes. Excellent.
Oh
Excellent.
my goodness.
She's being
Oh my
silly.
gosh.
She's being silly. Lots
Oh
of people
yeah,
are
she
going to
loves
see
it.
that. Wonderful. We love you. That's so awesome. Well,
I'm
we
so glad
really
they
do.
made it in here so you can see how silly my daughters are.
They look pretty
And
happy. They do.
I have two more. Can you believe it? Oh my goodness.
You got your hands full.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the big brother was supposed to be washing them.
Ah.
Boom.
Well, we love kids, and we really do. Kids are great. The kids are
Mm-hmm.
our future. This is, when you've got 5-year-olds telling the kindergarten teacher, "Hey, this is not so healthy. We need to get something different." That's
Oh,
pretty
and
cool.
they want to learn. They're little
Yeah,
sponges, and we have to
absolutely.
protect our next generation. This is our
Yeah,
future generation. We have to. How many beautiful minds do we have out there that have been robbed of their minds
yeah,
because they don't know what they don't know? So we do need to. Oh my goodness,
exactly.
you better stop, Billy.
She's being silly.
She is.
So
But yeah,
we,
I
yeah,
saw a comment like that. How many minds are being robbed? There are so many. I mean, what is the current uh, stat just in the United States? How many people have Alzheimer's? Let's see what 2019 brought.
okay.
Okay,
And
the
I
number
see
of
that.
Americans living with Alzheimer's. Yep, an estimated 5.8 million Americans aged 65 and older are
Mhm.
living with Alzheimer's and dementia. And
65%.
that's a lot
That
of.
is a lot.
I mean,
Wow.
what beautiful minds. And
Yeah.
then you can see even a chart from 2019, the assessments. So next generation, and these numbers need to be declining, not increasing.
Yep.
And
I
that's huge. I mean, there was a 33.3% increase in juvenile diabetes last year.
wow. So
That we
things
should
are,
be
yeah,
preventing this. Why is it
yes.
getting worse?
Because probably some of the foods and the things that we're eating, and clearly what we talked
Mm-hmm.
about is the sugar. We're getting the wrong kinds of sugar. We need to get the correct kinds of sugar. There's only three. Dr. Jenny was talking about that. This is I love these broadcasts because these are the kind of broadcasts where simply you have to go back, replay it. I see that like Nikki is asking. She said she's like a consultation. That's a good idea as well. And get something specifically for each individual. It's so beautiful that you do that. The phone consultation, obviously, I think it's a thing that's going to might become the standard
Mm-hmm.
anymore than to have to go to the doctor's office type of thing.
Right.
So Dr. Jenny does offer that. We certainly ask you to go ahead. How can they reach you, Dr. Jenny?
941 388
Mm-hmm.
or toll free 888-388-7237, or my email, Jenny, Jenny, like Jenny from the block,
Mm-hmm.
at AgeVital.com. You can see the logo on the top right hand corner, AgeVital.com, Jenny at AgeVital.com. Or you can go
Yeah.
to the website,
Yep.
www.agevital.com. Down at the bottom, scroll down, there's an assessment form where you can go ahead and start listing off all the symptoms that you have. And that gives us about 50%, in the right direction. And we give you a call right back to make the pieces of the puzzle come together, from testing to what supplement recommendations we have for you.
That's
So
excellent.
you need to
We
detox your brain. And if you live, with bad daily diet, bad habits, and you have constant stress, obviously remove the amount of stress in your life, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but
Absolutely. So you can go right to her website and you can fill
mhm,
that consultation out. Tell them that the LWN, you saw it right here on the Ask Dr. Jenny show. Make sure you mention that so we know that you saw it. We want to know that we're touching people, that we're making a difference, and I know that we are, but we want you to tell us too as well. Um, so we just really, I see a ton of comments. We really appreciate everybody that's taking time to come and join us tonight. Thank you, Dr. Jenny. We want everybody to have a great health and wellness Wednesday, or it might be Thursday, particularly like, well, I see Sandy's watching, so she's down in Australia. It's
yeah,
all
she
right.
said she made it. And then Richard Fay, yes, I do international Zoom calls. We
Yeah.
we still schedule it the same way. We'll schedule it via, email. With my pharmacist, my RNs will schedule you to either do a consult with myself or any other of my other healthcare providers. I have MDs, I have nurse practitioners, PAs, and
Hmm.
pharmacists that do consultations. and it's one-on-one. The consultations usually last for about an hour.
Hmm.
And then we get you on the road to, recovering and being the better version of you.
Excellent. That's exactly, and if you go to our website, you'll see exactly that. We help you become a better you. That's what it's about.
Yes, it
Because
is.
we love you all so very much.
And we
Thank you,
love
every.
you, Stephen.
No, thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Remember to join me tomorrow. I'll be back about 6:20 a.m. Join the Sunrise Daybreakers. We're going to be talking about connecting to nature, watching that sun coming up, listening to the birds singing. We're talking about gratitude too, and happiness all starts with gratitude.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking gratitude tomorrow on Thankful Thursday. And then Friday, we're talking about love in the morning, 6:20 a.m. Eastern Standard. In the evening, I've got Evangelist Norma Chapman on the Town Hall Get to Know, 7 o'clock. Join us for that. This is going to be really awesome. Everybody, take care. Thank you very much. Remember to share this video out. Come back next Wednesday, 7 o'clock, and we will see you then. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you, Stephen.
You're very welcome.
The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you, and all his favor upon anybody who's watching.
Exactly. We're all blessed. Thank you.
Yes.
Take care,
Bye.
everybody. Bye for now.